Hello, my name is Neil French from MST. So the family that I've been working with comprised of mum and her 3 children, 2 boys, one is 16, one is 14, and a girl who's 8. They all live in the house together, and then you have mum's brother and her sister as well, who are part of the family. So MST got involved due to being a think family case. And the family have had a lot of intervention over the years, and there's been a great deal of antisocial behaviour and complaints, which has meant that antisocial behaviour units have been involved and their housing has been at risk, and they've been moved several times. And it got to the point where the housing association had basically said that their behaviour needs to change, otherwise the tenancy is not going to continue. Essentially, I met with mum and the social worker, and we kind of looked at whether or not MST was a viable option for mum. Mum was very clear that she wanted things to be different, and mum was very keen due to the fact that we are a 24/7 service, we are community based, and we only have a small caseload, so we can work intensively with the family. So that's how we came to work with the family. So when the family were identified as being eligible for MST, what we started with was working out what everybody's desired outcomes were, what everybody wanted for the family. That includes the family, the wider family, other services. So I'm really clear on what everyone's working towards. And then at that point, we kind of look at what's the top clinical concern. So in this case, physical aggression within the home was a big part of that. So we looked at the drivers around that. The first thing we needed to do was a safety plan, so everybody knew their roles and responsibilities if something was to escalate within the home. And once that was in place and everybody was signed up to that, we could kind of move forward with interventions. So we then looked at bringing in a behaviour management plan, and the reason being was because within the home there wasn't any consistent boundaries that were there and set and in place. So we looked at how that could be, and mum led on that intervention to make sure that she was happy with what she was bringing in, what the rules were, what the rewards were, and what the consequences were, and that she would be able to apply that consistently and be comfortable with the plan. We also looked at mum's capacity to be able to de-escalate situations. This is something that she struggled with, and she would either leave situations or she would go in quite hard and be quite shouty, and this was something that we needed to work on, so looking at how mum could intervene early but in a different way. And this was largely about making sure that mum remained calm at all times. She wasn't shouting, she wasn't swearing, she wasn't going to give in either to the children, but that also she was able to be that authority figure within the home, and that was really significant as well. Those things together really meant that mum had a control over the house. There was something else as well, which was about mum and brother's relationship, and this was quite conflictual at points, and brother wasn't really clear on his role within the home. So mum had to make it really clear to brother that actually I'm the parental figure in this house, and the children need to respond to me. And once the brother understood that, he was able to walk away when situations were escalating. I've been working with the family now for just over 4 months, and in that time there's been significant changes, largely due to the fact that when we first started there was a lot of antisocial behaviour and complaints that were taking place. There was a lot of call-outs from the police and the antisocial behaviour unit as well, and this meant that when we first started there was a real risk of them losing their tenancy. But we made an agreement with the housing association to be able to create a new tenancy. But when we first started there was a lot of physical aggression between the brothers in particular, and non-compliance of rules with mum as well. There was the antisocial behaviour within the whole family, and mum's brother and sister as well were a part of that. Added to that, you had attendance issues. All the children had sporadic attendance, and the behaviour in school was unacceptable. A lot of non-compliance and aggression again. So whilst we've been working with the family, we've brought in, like I said before, the behaviour management plan. Mum's really clear that she is the authority figure, and she's much more consistent in applying that behaviour management plan as well. And there's been significant changes in terms of the children's behaviour and Mum's behaviour as well. So Mum's remaining calm in all situations. She doesn't get into arguments. She would walk away after she said what she said because she recognises that the children button push. And because the behaviour management plan is being consistently applied, the children are going to school. There's no physical aggression, there's no verbal aggression. So that means that there's no unsocial behaviour, and other services aren't involved in anywhere near the same way as they were. So historically with this family, there's always been a lot of unsocial behaviour, as I've already said, but particularly during the summertime when the children are off school, this is a particular time when it escalates more than normal. And in Mum's own words, this has been the best summer that she's ever had. This is due to the fact that the children are behaving in the way that she wants them to behave. They're complying with the behaviour management plan, and Mum's consistently making sure that she follows through with the rules, rewards and consequences. Okay, so MST is designed in a way that it's meant to be sustainable. So all of the interventions that we've done together require continuous effort. And they require a lot of responsibility on Mum's part. We would not want any of the services to be involved when we withdraw. If it's necessary, then we may look to Think Family to be able to take something forward. But actually this family has made significant changes, and at this stage my proposal would be for no other services to be involved, given the increase in behaviour, in good behaviour. So that's where I see things going.